Ireland's national police force, the Gardaí, have many reasons to believe that 2025 is the year that they'll be closer than ever to bringing down Daniel Kinahan. This revelation was made after the turbulent year that Daniel Kinahan suffered in 2024. Most of the year, Daniel Kinahan spent on the defense, and the Gardaí thinks that this is the year to land the killer blow to the Kinahan Cartel. Daniel Kinahan has tried repeatedly to put on a front as a sports promoter, mainly by turning himself into an international boxing advisor and promoter. Some of these names he's served are the biggest in the boxing world these days, with the most notable being none other than Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. His attempts at legitimacy, brought to the forefront by his boxing promotion company MTK Global, which he co-founded with former professional boxer Matthew McLean in 2012 before Kinahan's participation. The company was called MGM, or McLean's Gym Marbella. The organisation started off as a boxing management and training company based in Marbella, Spain. McLean had a few fights under the company and retired from boxing on May 13, 2016. Only a year later, McLean announced that his partner, Daniel Kinahan, would be stepping down from boxing promotion because of bad publicity. MTK has since been bought out by external investors, with Matthew McLean remaining on the board in an advisory role. McLean eventually became a pundit for Sky Sports and still had issues because of his connections to Daniel Kinahan. That's why it's good to choose wisely the company that you keep. The year 2024 for Daniel Kinahan saw 3 of his closest allies getting locked up for their role in the Kinahan Cartel organised crime group. The luxurious and remote desert refuge or getaway in Dubai, where Daniel has been living for over a decade, recently signed a deal with the Ireland National Police Force, with the expectation of having him charged for murder and operation of a crime gang. To lament the squeeze the Gardaí have put on Daniel Kinahan, they have seized and already sold his 4-bedroom house located at 10 Coldwater Lakes in Sagart County, Dublin. The house was sold for a staggering €931,000, exceeding the starting auction price of €550,000. There were a total of 168 bids from 5 participants in this auction. It will take a brave person to purchase this property knowing the legacy it brings. If this was a scheme to draw Daniel out of hiding to contest the property, it failed, because he didn't contest it in any way, shape or form. The proceeds from the sale of the property are designated to go to the state. This was just another severe blow for Daniel and the Kinahan Cartel in the year 2024. Daniel, who is 47 years old, and his father, Christy Kinahan, who is 67, accompanied by Christopher Kinahan, 43, are all believed to be living in Dubai and still have managed to have a deadly feud with a Hutch gang. The Kinahan Cartel is believed to be in control of a €1.5 billion drugs and crime cartel, which they control from Dubai and offer services to many different organised crime groups from across the world. At the time of recording this video, it would have been nearly 3 years since the American justice system put a $5 million bounty on each of their heads. The Dublin natives have been living in a state of safety from the Ireland National Police Force and other law enforcement agencies probing them because of Dubai's politics. Being a part of the United Arab Emirates, they don't have an extradition treaty with Ireland. This law meant that for most Irish criminals and gangsters, this was the top destination to stay out of the reach of the Gardaí. However, this has since been changed, because in October of 2024, that sense of security and untouchable feeling is practically over. Ireland's Justice Minister flew directly to Dubai to sign an agreement that has been negotiated for many years. This now means that any Irish national that is suspected of doing crimes can be sent back to Ireland from Dubai, but this was mainly aimed at the 3 Kinahan relatives. The files have been sent to the Director of Public Prosecutions in relation to the Kinahan men that are hiding in Dubai. You can expect them to try and find refuge in another country soon, if they're not caught before. They have the resources and the know-how to evade the law, so let's see how it plays out for them in the long run. One of the crimes the Irish police is charging Daniel Kinahan with is the 2016 murder of Eddie Hutch, a 58-year-old man who is the brother of Jerry the Monk Hutch. Eddie was shot dead 3 days later after the Hutch gang attacked the Regency Hotel in a hit allegedly aimed at Daniel Kinahan. This attack led to one fatality, David Byrne, a well-known Kinahan associate. The murder of Eddie Hutch was Kinahan's first retaliation in response to the Regency shooting, and it was not the last. During the feud, over 18 men were killed, with the Kinahan only taking out 2 men during the Hutch-Kinahan feud. The Gardaí did not believe that Daniel Kinahan pulled the trigger, but he's suspected of being involved in the killing. There's a separate file that was sent over to Dubai to put charges against all 3 men for their roles in directing an organised crime gang, a very serious offence. If convicted, they can serve life in prison. For these prosecutions to take place, the men will have to be extradited from the UAE, and there's also the task of persuading 3 judges in the non-jury special court of their crimes. The major problem faced by the Gardaí was to always get them out of Dubai. Now, with a new extradition treaty in place, this should make the process a little less strenuous. Places like Russia and Iran could offer a safe haven for the men if the extradition is requested and they do the art thing and flee Dubai. But these talks that it will not work, because if they flee, it will become a matter for international pursuit, and they will be pursued wherever they go. There's also been pressure on the associates of the Kinahan Big Three to turn them in and cash out the $5 million bounty that's on their heads offered by America, and, in the process, save themselves from convictions. Even though it seems that none of the heavy hitters in the Kinahan Cartel or close allies will take up the offer, some of the most influential figures in the cartel are now behind bars. The list of influential Kinahan Cartel members in jail now include key figures Sean McGovern, who was arrested in October 2024 in Dubai, shortly before the extradition deal was signed. He was arrested via a direct extradition request by Ireland after the Director of Public Prosecutions ordered him to be charged with his involvement in the cartel's murder of Noel "Duckegg" Kirwan in December 2016, which took place in Dublin. It is believed that Mr. Kirwan was killed because he was seen with Jerry Hutch at Eddie Hutch's funeral. With the extradition treaty in place, he will be extradited to Ireland to face these charges. Liam Byrne, another member that is highly rated in the cartel, has been sentenced to 5 years in England after trying to get favourable treatment for fellow Dublin gangster Thomas "the Bomber" Kavanagh. Kavanagh is serving a 21-year sentence for his crimes. Both men are deemed as key leaders for the day-to-day operations of the cartel. Another major Kinahan Cartel member, Peter Keating, a fellow Dublin native to the Kinahans, was also jailed for 4 years and 8 months over the same plot to get favours for Thomas Kavanagh. It's like that saying, killing 2 birds with 1 stone, although in this case, it's 3. The relentless fight against the Kinahan Cartel, and to some extent the Hutch gang, has not only decimated their ranks, but also struck devastating blows to their finances and operations. Gardaí, working tirelessly over the years, have seized over 14 million euros in cash and drugs since the feud began in 2015, according to reports by the Garda Inspectorate. The numbers are staggering. Drugs worth 27.5 million euros were taken off the streets, the bulk belonging to the Kinahan Cartel. Gardaí also confiscated 11 million euros in cash, funds meant to fuel their criminal enterprises. Alongside this, they seized an arsenal of 70 firearms and an astonishing 4,736 rounds of ammunition, cutting deep into the cartel's capacity for violence. The toll on the cartel extends far beyond their assets. Garda investigations have led to 81 people being put behind bars, more than 70 of them connected to the Kinahan network. Among the most significant blows to the gang was the life imprisonment of 8 individuals for feud-related murders. Notably, siblings Jonathan Keogh and Regina Keogh from Dublin were sentenced to life for the 2016 killing of Gareth Hutch, a nephew of Jerry Hutch. Yet, despite these victories, the battle is far from over. The report warned that both the Kinahan and Hutch gangs remain active. Their operations may be battered, but they are not entirely dismantled. This reality came into sharp focus in early December, when a multinational police operation named Operation Destabilise unearthed a massive Russian money laundering network tied to the Kinahan Cartel and other drug traffickers. The global investigation, which involved Gardaí, the UK's National Crime Agency, and US and European law enforcement, struck another significant blow to the cartel's financial web. Over 80 people were arrested, and 24 million euros in cash and cryptocurrency were seized, further crippling their ability to operate. This ongoing saga is a testament to the unwavering determination of law enforcement worldwide. The Kinahan Cartel may still be standing, but their grip is weakening, piece by piece, day by day. Subscribe to stay up to date with the latest happenings in the criminal underworld.